Hello and welcome to the Wednesday night episode of the Blitz Pickup. Listen, I don't know if you guys were aware, but the Blitz Pickup was live last night on TD's Fin Talk. And after that, listen, I done came and I done brought out the Jason Taylor jersey. Like, I'm so excited and pumped for the season now. That's all you need. Sometimes you just need two brilliant minds to rein you back in and be like, hey, relax. It's okay. It's going to be all right. But we are back here tonight, and we are so happy for everyone that subscribed and are now a part of the Blitz Pickup family. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Tonight, we are going to be breaking down and talking about our expectations for the wide receiver room. We will also talk about some roster moves. And then there's a subject that we need to revisit. And you're going to see a lot of fireworks in this discussion because it has a lot of implications on what the Dolphins could be doing in the future. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you comment. There will be a poll. Make sure you vote on the poll. But hey, it's Wednesday night. It's normally film breakdown day, but we got a lot to discuss. Tone, Lou, let's get into the show.
Hey, for Sandy, good evening. Lou, welcome back. We missed you last night.
Now, real quick. You know,
here you go.
We usually talk for about 4 or 5 minutes before the first topic, right? So let me ask a question. Finsanity, by the way, Tone, what's up, man? Both of y'all, right?
What's good?
Now, Finsanity, and your
Finsanity, I don't like that tone, Finsanity. I don't like the way he said hi or what's up to us.
I'm just saying what's up to you. I'm just trying to say what's up to my people. That's all I'm doing.
Okay, do your thing, sir.
Now, Finsanity in your opening monologue again was great, right? But when you said, I just need a little clarification. When you said it's easy when two great minds are up there. I mean, I know you were on the show last night. I'm trying to figure out where the second person was. Did
you watch the show?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I seen Finsanity up there. I know that's one great mind, but she just said two great minds. I'm trying to figure. Did y'all start the show to stream again? Like, did it start over?
Hey, man.
I'm talking about Tony and Tony, Didi and Tony. That's it. Two brilliant minds.
His name is Tony. Shout out to you. See what I'm saying?
Hey,
that's probably crazy. What it was, Lou. You was confused what Tony she was talking about. That's what it was. I get it. I understand.
Yeah,
I'm gonna chalk it up to the surgery.
Yeah. Chalk it up to the medicine. Shout out to TD for having the Blitz Pickup up there.
Yes.
You know, I got caught up doing some things, but again, Tony and Finsanity more than Tone. But the Blitz Pickup was well represented last night. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, TD, for all talk. Appreciate you. It's not true, but thank you.
Oh, I agree, sir. Yes, I do.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Hey, man, listen, welcome back, Lou, man. I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed the show. Obviously, you didn't watch the whole thing because you didn't know who she was talking about. So you probably just stop by, hit the like button. Okay, that's cool. Over here, you know, or is it a little, you know, maybe, and shout out to y'all in the chat. Maybe if Lou win one of these polls, he'll stop taking these shots at me. But you know, there we go. Go ahead, Lou. You know what I'm saying? I miss you, my brother. I miss you, man. You know, don't take it.
You know what? See, Finsanity, this is a problem I have, right? So did you hear what Tone just said? He said, I missed you, brother. And that's fine. Listen, I missed y'all. Y'all know I missed y'all, right? But there was a dude last night that said, oh, I missed you, brother. There was another dude that said that, right? TD said that, and then he proceeded to take a shot at me, said I was running because I don't be on camera. TD, come on, dog. Because I heard the part where he said he listens to us. So TD, come on, man. You know I'll never run for my dog. But again, shout out to TD. And y'all were great last night.
Can I just ask one question? Did anyone see Lionel Messi last night and what he did as the oldest player to ever score a hat trick in a World Cup game? Listen, I am by far, hands down, a Ronaldo fan. You know, a la Madrid. But what I was able to watch last night, it just seems like Messi always shows up in the moment, and he has carried Argentina for years. I know he has his World Cup already, and I don't think Argentina is going to win it this year, but to start off in that fashion, in that way, on the biggest stage, man, that was so phenomenal to watch. So shout out to Lionel Messi. I just had to give him his flowers, you know, and just make sure that he knows that, hey, even from a Ronaldo fan, I can acknowledge the greatness that he has given soccer fans, and just to see the young kids, you know, in all of that, and knowing that one of those kids is trying to look up and wants to be the next one of him, he is a player of a generation. So shout out to Lionel Messi. I know we ain't a soccer. I know we not a soccer, but I love soccer, and I had to get a man his flowers. That's
Hey,
all you're gonna get, Messi. That's all.
no. Well, I'm gonna give Messi his credit too, because last night I think the best thing he did all night for Insanity and Tone is get them to erase the goal, the first goal of the game, Algeria. You know what I'm saying? They scored, and then they showed Messi, and Messi started shaking his head, and then all of a sudden it went from one back to zero. I don't know what happened, but hey, that was the best thing Messi did yesterday.
That's how Michael Jordan treatment.
Nah,
okay, all right.
You know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna let him live because you know what? Y'all ready to get into the show? Because
I'm ready.
Spewing this nonsense about taking away points, but he didn't say nothing when he was on this channel, right? Trying to downplay the USA performance, and he didn't mention nothing about them taking away our first goal. Nothing about it. But you know what? Let's get into the show.
Y'all were offsides. I mean, y'all blatantly offsides.
Y'all, you don't root for America? You said y'all.
Oh no, he's Hamania, and that's how you say it, huh? Hamania, he's German.
Alemania,
yeah,
he's a German. Alemania, that's German. That's Germany, by the way.
You know, he a European. All right, bet. Let's get into the show, Sandy. Ready?
Listen. Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell, Chris Bell, Caleb Douglas, Kevin Coleman Jr., Malik Washington, Terrace Marshall Jr., Theo Weiss Jr., Taj Washington. There's so many wide receivers.
Who?
Listen. Don't do
you
that
already
to the
with the BS. All right.
Don't do that to the guys. Tony, what are your expectations for this Miami Dolphins wide receiving room unit?
I expect this to be the best unit thus far that we've had. Going back. Let me stop. Hey man, listen. This is what I would say. Expectations are it's gonna take time. Like one thing that I can say that I stood by, I didn't change my mind on. Even going back, doing my research, doing my homework. That Caleb Douglas pick, I still feel the same way that I feel about it. I'm hoping that he proved me wrong. Hoping that somehow, some way, he shows up, and maybe it just was I can't even say the quarterback play over there because we got who was this quarterback over there? You remember?
For who? For Texas Tech?
For Texas Tech.
Wasn't sure.
Who was the quarterback over there? I forgot. But they were trying to blame me on the quarterback play. I have no idea, but I'm not a big fan of him. And then my biggest issue when he was coming out of the draft was the drop concerns. And was one of the main concerns coming out of OTAs and mini camps, his drop concerns. So it doesn't seem like he's improving in that area. So I still have the same concerns that I had coming out of the draft. Right now, I'm coming out of OTA and mini camp for him. And the reason that I singled him out first is because he was the first receiver drafted, and he was in the third round, and all of the receivers that were still there, right? Listen, Ted Hurts was still on the board, and from all reports, they loving him over there in Tampa Bay. So we get it. Now, as far as the rest of them, Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell, Chris Bell, Malik Washington, it seems as if Malik Washington is going to take a step forward, and that seems cool and fine and dandy. But if we're going to have realistic expectations, and I do, this is going to be a run-first offense, right? Run-first offense, and I think, and I do believe that will open up some opportunities for them to take shots downfield, right? And the one constant that they all have, the one thing that's constant with all of them, and that they all have in common, is that they all like sub 4-3 for the most part. I don't think any of them are above 4-3. I don't think so, right? So we do get that they're speed guys, so they can pose a threat downfield. But I think what he was looking for, and that what it seemed like all of them are good at, except for Tutu Atwell, are their blocking wide receivers, which seemed like they fit the type of offense that we're trying to build here. It's going to be a run first. It's going to be Malik Willis and A10 using using the run game, and wide receivers, y'all just get in where y'all fit in. Now, is there an opportunity for a breakout performance? Of course, because if you become a dominant run team, by all means, that means they're going to start allocating more defenders to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to say, we're not going to let you beat us at what you do best. And thus opening up opportunities downfield for these receivers to at least become valuable to this team and have defense at least thinking about them. That's that's what they have to do. Do I have confidence that they are going to do that? Listen, man, I got to be honest. I got to be 100% objective. Neither one of these guys outside of Chris Bell has showed me anything from their time in the league and what I've seen in college to believe that they're going to become a bona fide number one wide receiver threat. So if I have realistic expectation, the best I think we can get out of this wide receiver unit is a bona fide wide receiver two. Now, when Chris Bell, I don't know if they're going to bring him back. I don't know if they're going to just give him the 4 games, which it seems like that's what they're going to do, or they're going to be extra cautious and let him sit the whole season because they did say they were taking a long approach. When he come back, I think he's the only one that possessed the capabilities, and from what I've seen in college and him at Louisville, to be a bona fide number one and someone that defenses should fear and say, okay, we can't ignore him. He has that game-breaking opportunity. All of these guys are speed guys, except for Malik Washington. I'm sorry, Malik Washington isn't. But none of them show what like game-breaking ability. Like when we watch Jalen Tolbert, when we watch even Tutu Atwell, we know he's a burner, but he doesn't look like a game breaker. You right? Because usually those burners, the game breakers, you can put them back at punt return and he can make something happen, or kick return, he can make something happen. Neither one of them comes off as to be those type of players or wide receivers. Malik Washington is a threat, is a game breaker. He just doesn't pose the speed that the rest of them pose. So listen, they all have their limitations. I would just say this, and I'll finish, and I'll let Lewis go after this. Outside of Chris Bell, right? I'm just looking at, I think at the high end, maybe we get a receiver crack 800 to 900 yards. And in all actuality, I think they all might be around the 500-600 yard mark, right? When it comes to all of them, and they divide it, and then we'll add in. Now, when we get to the tight ends, that's going to change a little bit with the tight ends and the running back. But yeah, I see you, Fitzgerald. You had your hand up. What's going on?
Yeah, I was just curious because you have a lot of glowing things to say about the potential play of Chris Bell. Would you say that what we saw against University of Miami is indicative of him being able to come into the NFL and perform at a high level since their secondary was so amazing? This is a testament to the Hurricanes secondary, not to and what Chris Bell was able to do against it. It's not a shot. I'm just saying.
I would say this. He did that against a top level secondary.
Yeah.
Let's if we're gonna be real now, our top guy was out, so we're not gonna leave that part out.
Even
right?
Remember, now we're doing caveats.
No, it's not caveats. It's actually what happened. I got to tell you, we have to give the actual. It's not Federer wasn't in that game. Let's be real. But that still was even the backups came in and they're top level talent, so there's no excuse, right? And to have a game breaking, he took over that game. Yes. Let's be realistic, especially that second touchdown. He was surrounded by defenders, and somehow, some way, he got out of that and scored a lone touchdown. So for the most part, he showed that's the type of ability that I'm saying that he showed that he could take over the game and become a game breaker. So if you want to, I'll just say that game to show his talent because you want to take a shot at
no. Listen, but
you don't think? Go ahead, you could do it.
No, because see, you're taking it, and I mean this wholeheartedly. It's not a shot at the Hurricanes. It's a testament to how dominant they are, and for him to be able to find a way to have a game against such a team whose defense helped them get to the national championship game, right? We haven't seen Chris Bell in months and weeks, right? He ended up getting injured, in a game after that one, but for what he was able to do and perform against such a powerful unit, right? We're not saying it as a slight to the Hurricanes. We're saying it as a an accomplishment to Chris Bell, while also understanding that Miami Hurricanes secondary possessed a lot of NFL talent. Like that's all. It's
Yes,
not a
it
shot.
did. It
It's really
produced a lot
me
of
giving y'all
NFL talent.
props. It's giving
Yeah.
y'all props while
Yeah.
also giving the player on our team props for being able to
Can ne-
find a way to
I can
do
never
that.
be so sure with you, too sure with you.
I,
I gotta always double check.
not a
You know what I'm
shot.
saying? But yeah,
Oh,
so
the shots
but
come in August. Don't worry. I got him. I got him on. I got him on deck.
don't worry, I'm ready for it. But yeah, I think he's done what he can do, and I think he has the opportunity to be a game changer. We have to be honest over here. We can't, I'm not going to just turn around and say, oh, just because they're on the Dolphins, I think all of them gonna have breakout seasons and they're gonna be top level receivers. No, I have to go by based on what I've seen so far from them, and what we've seen so far. They haven't been. No one has shown wide receiver number one capability, and then the young rookies, even Coleman and what's his name? Well, Chris Bell is not going to be in the beat up, but Caleb Douglas, they haven't been blowing anyone away from in OTAs and mini camps, and these are in 7-on-7s, which you would expect them to have the upper hand. If we just got, well, at least I am. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. No one has shown me the potential to become a actual number one outside of what I saw from Chris Bell in college. So, but that's my take on it. You let Lou go ahead and get in there.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be as nice as Tony. I'm gonna start with our UDFA wide receiver and Caleb
that
Douglas.
was nice. Whew.
Well, I'm saying Caleb Douglas is a UDFA. That's what he is. And this great general manager of ours picked him at number 75. That is a bust. I'm calling it now. This Caleb Douglas is trash. Chris Bell, Tone, I'm with you. I think he's the only one that excites me, but we don't know where he's going to start, right? Kevin Coleman, cool. It's Malik Washington. That's what he is. So I'll just leave that there. What's troubling Tone and Finsanity, and Tone, I agree with you in the aspect of you don't think there's probably no receiver that's going to get 1,000 yards. I was about to say the same thing. Jalen Tolbert is considered I would say our best weapon. He's been a number 3 his entire career. That's what he is. He's a number 3 receiver. Tutu Atwell is a 3, maybe a 4. That's what he is. It's safe to say, Tone and Finsanity, we remember how much last year people used to say this possibly is going to be the worst secondary in the league. I believe this is going to be, well, no. This is the worst wide receiver room in the NFL. Bar none. It's not even close. You don't even have a number 2 receiver. Like, where outside of Chris Bell, Tone and Finsanity, where would you see a number 2? Malik has been a number 3. Tutu's been a number 3.
I think Malik Washington can be a number 2 receiver.
But what he's been is a number 3.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. He's been a number 3. Tutu a number 3. Jalen Tolbert a number 3. Chris Bell's the only one, and I'm with you, Tone. I think it's just going to be the pup. I think they're going to put him on the pup. He'll miss the first 4 games, and then they'll slow play him after that. I do think he'll play this season. But nothing should excite nobody on this roster. Nothing. There's no threat. Right? Tone, Finsanity, you can run all these sub 4 threes, but if you're running past people and you can't catch the ball, what does that matter?
Nothing.
With Jalen Tolbert, I just think, again, man, it's as of right now currently constructed, and hopefully we get better reports, Tone, when you go out to training camp and you get your eyes on them. Maybe they do surprise. Again, I'm just going based on what they've shown. The guys that have been already in the NFL, they're legitimate number 3s, and the rookies outside of Chris Bell, it is what it is. Well, Kevin Coleman, again, he's another Malik Washington, and Chris Bell, I think we're all high on. The fact of the matter is, though, I'm always going to point this out, because what y'all did for me for 6 years with Chris Greer, all we talked about was the bad moves. You got Caleb Douglas, and he was a UDFA wide receiver. That's what it was. I know y'all don't want to say it. I know I'm the only one that's going to say it. That's fine. He's going to be a bust. Caleb Douglas was a miss. So, no, to answer your question, Insanity, expectations to see a bunch of 3s out on the field, because that's all I've seen.
But can the 3s catch?
Well, some of them.
Okay, some of them. My question with
boy.
My question would then be, okay, Malik Washington, right? Do you feel like he stepped up a little bit late in the season last year? Lou?
That's for Lou, right?
You talking about Malik?
Yeah, she said Malik Washington.
Malik Washington.
Again, Malik has been he's serviceable, but
Did he step up? Is the question.
Can he step up, or did he step up?
I said, did he step up late in the season? In your eyes, do you think he stepped up a little bit?
I mean, he caught a couple balls. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, what did he do? In any game that you watched the Dolphins, did you come out away from that game being like, man, I felt Malik's presence today, man?
Well, I'll say this, Lou, and to answer it, and to be honest with you, he stepped up more so in the special team aspect than as a receiver last year. Like he didn't. If I want to be 100 and be honest about it, like there isn't one game that I could recall in the season that I was like, okay, Malik Washington had a good game as a receiver. I can't recall, not even one. Now, good impact making plays, that's a different story. That was on special teams. But receive like now for Sunday, you asked the question, do you feel that he stepped up towards the end of the season? And if so, give me a game that you can say maybe in this game here or there.
Do I think he stepped up to the level of a wide receiver one? No. But I do think that when the ball was thrown his way, he was making catches. He was doing his job. Was it flashy? No, but it was serviceable. It was something that I could say, okay, Malik, he was catching the ball. Like, I mean, outside of that, like, what else you want the man to do? Like, he was doing his job. Like, the team was where the team was at that point. My whole point of this is, obviously, it was very interesting when I believe it was Halfley said that we're going to get Malik Willis weapons. He said he will have weapons. And to my next question would be is, do you guys think that he did? Well, no, I don't even have to ask this. You guys don't think that they did a good job at getting Malik Willis weapons? So the question would be is, oh, hold up. We have a hand raised. We doing.
I disagree.
Oh, we have a disagree. Okay.
When you say weapons, are you strictly talking about wide receivers? Because if we're talking about wide receivers, I don't think that. But getting weapons, I think bringing Achane back is the type of weapon that he needs to be successful in this offense. But when you talk about, are you talking about offensive weapons like as wide receivers on the outside?
Wide receiving room.
No. If we gonna call a spade, no.
Okay.
If Chris Bell was healthy, I would say they did okay because they got at least one guy that could pose a threat. But from what we're standing now and what we're going to start the season in, no. Like, we got to be honest. I don't care how much credit I want to give them. When you ask that question, it's a hard no.
It's a hard no. Okay.
No.
They and I don't know if this is correct or not, but I'm seeing 46 catches for 317 yards.
Yeah, that was Malik Washington all last year. I believe.
Like again, bro. What are we talking about?
Okay.
What are we talking about?
And I don't think now I could be wrong, but did he crack 50 yards in any game? If he did it's probably one or twice. Once or twice.
I know that average for you to have almost 50 catches for 317. You ain't moving a lot.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Getting a lot of yards, dog.
I'm putting it up right now for Sandy. Okay, looking at it right now, he has zero games with 50. The closest he got was in Baltimore when he had 3 catches for 48 yards.
Yeah, you ain't. Yeah. You ain't doing nothing with that, dog.
And to even further my point, what I said earlier, the last 6 games he had 4 receptions for 30, 3 receptions for 10, 1 for 10, 1 for 23, 1 for 4, and 3 for 6. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, he ain't do nothing.
I wouldn't call that. And he had 1 touchdown in that span. Pass receiving in that span and 1 rushing in that span, right? So stepping up toward the end of the season, no, I think you're thinking more on the lines of when he was running them. He had the big kickoff returns,
special teams.
He took to the house. Those are the times when we like shout out to Malik Washington, you know, and then he had the one rushing touchdown. It was like, nah, we gotta be honest. Nah, it's not. He didn't show anything.
All I said the man was catching the ball. I didn't say he was out here being a game changer or wide receiver one.
All right.
Listen, listen, he had 46 receptions on 65.
Yeah, 65 targets. Yeah,
65 targets.
But he's only been accredited with one drop.
I mean,
so when I say he's catching the ball,
65 targets. Like, what are we doing?
Can we say the man?
Insanity. I thought I thought we didn't grade on the curve over here.
He catch the ball. First of all, I'm not saying.
Yes, he can.
And I think this is me.
Yeah, he can catch.
I'm not saying Malik Washington is about to go out here and blaze the league or blaze the NFL. My question is, can we rely on him to catch the ball, to do his job? That's all I'm saying. If y'all can sit here and explain to me,
yes, he can,
that this team can get to 10 wins, why is it hard for y'all to say, you know what, maybe, just maybe, in Malik Washington, we have somebody that at least knows how to catch the ball. I'm not saying he's wide receiver one. I'm not saying, you know, that he's about to go out there and have 1,000 yards. I'm just saying that when Malik, you know, Devon Best, sorry to throw the name out there, right? But we knew Devon he was going to go out there and catch the ball. Third down. Keep the drive alive, right?
Terrence Marshall Jr. could catch the ball too. If you want to just throw names out there.
Theo
Weiss can catch the ball.
Theo Weiss can catch the ball.
I'm just talking about somebody I see.
Well, Theo Weiss had the longest out of all the receivers on our roster. Theo Weiss had the biggest play out of all of them. That one long touchdown he caught for Quinn Ewers. If we just give him credit for people doing the bare minimum.
Veteran guy. I'm just going with, you know, I'm just going. I said, am I going out and buying a Malik Washington jersey? No. What I'm saying is to all the wide receiver 3s and 4s that we have on this team, because none of y'all think we got any wide receiver 2s on this team, right?
Oh no, we ain't got none. No.
We ain't got none, right? We ain't got no 1s, we ain't got no 2s. We got I will say one of the best wide receiver 3s that we have on this team is Malik Washington. All I'm saying is, if given the opportunity, he can continue to do what he did last year, and that's just catch the ball whenever we needed him to, then sometimes you just need that utility.
I agree. I agree.
Hold on, let me get this. Hey, listen, y'all make sure y'all vote on the poll, right? We only got 18 votes. There's 29 of y'all in the build. 29 of y'all in the building now. Make sure y'all vote on the poll, man. But go ahead, Lou. I ain't hit the like button.
I'll say this, Finsanity, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds true. 46 catches for 317 yards. I'm gonna assume the homie Steve is true. The man's average depth per target, Finsanity, is 5 yards.
Absolutely.
What I'm about to tell you, Finsanity, when you pose the question and say, can he catch, Finsanity, you could catch those passes 5 yards.
I'm not even gonna lie. I can't.
That's a lie.
So you trust Malik Willis as a weapon, is what you're saying. I'm asking the question. Is that what you're saying?
Are you saying Malik Washington?
Malik Washington, yeah. Do you trust him as a wepen?
I trust him as a utility.
As a number three,
a
for sure.
Utility wide receiver that get like, hey, 3rd and 4, he can get us 5.
Bullshit!
Cut it out, man.
Hey,
now
crazy
when I want to be positive, it's a problem. But when I was negative and saying all this stuff, it was a problem. So when I try to call out what this team isn't going to be, it's a problem. Then when I try to be positive, and
I'm just saying, be honest. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe there's a diamond in the rough. Can I call my shot on the diamond in the rough?
Yes, you can. You know what? You more than with
the diamond in the rough. Right. Is it far fetched to believe that Malik Washington is going to have, 600 yards?
Hey, Finsanity, when you say diamond in the rough, how long do you got to search for the diamond? I mean, you don't think you can find
17.
Like really?
17.
You can't find the diamond in the first 2 years.
Here's the thing. He was sitting behind a bona fide wide receiver 1 and a bona fide wide receiver.
Y'all told me Jalen Waddle wasn't like that. That's what y'all told me on Monday's episode.
Wait, no. Who was he sitting behind? A bona fide? You talking about Jalen Waddle?
Was he not there when Tyreek was on the field?
Tyreek played 3.5 games. Let's not do this.
Behind him.
Okay,
On
what
the
about
depth chart, was he not sitting behind him?
what about the rest of the 13 games?
What? Listen, that's why I said utility. Y'all out here trying to make it seem like I'm selling this man as our wide receiver one. I'm not. But like I'm saying,
You trying to set us on Malik Washington?
I'm not trying to sell him. What I'm saying is, y'all thinking this is a pitch for Malik Washington, and that's not what it is. What I'm saying is that if we were to say, okay, how about I phrase the question in the way that I'm framing it in my mind? Who do you think will be Malik Willis's most dependable receiver out of all the 3s and the 4s?
Okay, so far it's been Malik Washington. Cool. But that don't mean okay. But if your most dependable, hold on. But if your most dependable wide receiver can give you 650 yards in a season, I mean, how good of is he really a target? Is he really a weapon?
I never said that.
I'm just saying. But you're saying if he can catch, okay, technically yes, he can catch.
He can catch. Listen. I just need someone. And listen, and when we get to the tight ends, we'll get there, right? We'll talk about it. For all intents and purposes, I feel like the most dependable catcher that Malik should rely on is Devon Achane. Get the ball in his hand.
Thank you. I was about to bring that up.
Right, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about wide receivers. I can bring that up when we're talking about the running backs.
All I'm saying is
I'm trying to stay in the box. I'm trying to stay here. I'm trying to stay in the frame of the question. So out of all the wide receivers, I'm saying why can't? Because you guys all said that you don't think there's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver. I agree. I have not disagreed with anything that y'all said. I've never told y'all that I disagree with anything y'all said. I didn't attack one point or segment about what y'all said. I was asking questions.
We're not attacking it. We're just saying, don't sell
y'all don't want.
Hey, for saying, can I tell you something? Can I point something out? I know we're not talking about this guy, but we do know Devon Achane was our leading receiver last year, right?
Absolutely.
And Malik Washington was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
He had 67 receptions for 488 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
At the running back, Malik Washington was on. I mean, so he got to show me. Like, you have to show me. I can't go based on can you catch? Okay, cool. But can you do it in the NFL? Show me the production in the NFL. That's all I'm saying.
Y'all thinking that I'm trying to say that this man about to be like the most productive. Like, no, I'm just saying, out of the wide receivers that we have on this roster right now, my frame is like, who do I see? And maybe I should have just started that because y'all was thinking that I was trying to sell this man. All I'm saying is, I believe that Malik Washington has the opportunity to be the most dependable wide receiver, not the most dependable weapon or receiver, but the most dependable wide receiver for a Malik Willis. That's what I'm saying.
All right, you got.
It's not bigger or deeper than that. It's not bigger or deeper than that. I'm not saying he about to go out here and show us he's a wide receiver 1 or a wide receiver 2. I'm not standing on that square. I'm not standing on that point. But do I believe he can be dependable on third downs? Absolutely. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and have 100-yard games. Don't see it. Don't expect it. I can say that wholeheartedly. Don't see it. Don't expect it. But do I trust that if the ball is thrown to him that he will catch it? Yeah, sure. And that makes him dependable. Now, that dependability is an asset to have. Do I think do we see him as a what? No, Malik Washington ain't getting drafted in nobody's fantasy league. I don't know what wide receiver is getting drafted in anybody fantasy league from this team. I don't think none of us is going to draft any of them. One of us might sit Chris Bell, like on the back burner to pick him up with, we'll see how that shakes. But like, let's be real. Lewis said it. This might be the worst wide receiving unit in the NFL.
Like, really, if you go, let's go down the roster. I was trying to okay, maybe the Saints, but no, can't even say the Saints.
No, this is by far the worst in the NFL.
It's like,
and Finsanity, I understand what you're saying now, right? I get your point.
I was gonna say the Cardinals, but I'll take Marvin Harrison Jr. over everyone else.
Absolutely, without question. What I would say. what I would say to that, Finsanity, because I do see what you're saying now, right? And I understand it. I kind of even agree with you. He probably is our most dependable. The problem is when a guy like Malik Washington is the most dependable,
He's not
you
there.
know where you're at. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, you know
Yep.
how bad you really are.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So again, bro, that would be one area where I think Sully kind of missed in the draft and even in free agency. Now I know more in free agency, they haven't had a lot of money. But listen, we did 3 days of the draft. Everybody, we continue over here every year on the Blitz Pickup. We'll be calling the draft. We can't lie now. Again, they've done a lot of good, especially with how they cut players, maneuver, sign. That's one area where I think we can all agree where Sully he missed in the draft. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I
Some of
think
the
we all
receivers that
agree.
were on
Like
the
when
board.
it came to wide receiver, if he didn't draft Chris Bell, we're looking at him like sideways, like all
it's
the way
ugly.
sideways.
It's ugly, Tone.
Yeah, so we can all agree on that. Yes.
Do we have any more points to make when it comes to this wide receiving unit?
No, I think points has been made.
All right, guys. Thank you once again for voting on the poll. You were asked, will the wide receiving room be the weakest unit of the offense? And 68% of you said yes, and 32% of you said no. I would be very interested to see what the no's think. That's very interesting. Okay. Tony, the Miami Dolphins made a couple of roster moves. Would you like to go over that for the people for me, please?
Well, shout out to the off season. Because we got to talk about. I'd rather be talking about them signing Jordan Brooks than speaking about Keon Smith and Carter Warren getting released, right? But I would say this, and I was, let me just talk about the moves first, and then explain to that why the only good thing about that is. So yeah, we released Keon Smith and Carter Warren. I don't think anyone is surprised. Do we even care about that? Do we think that even put a dent in our what we think about the team as far as can they help or could they not help us? No, right? We did sign Major Burns, and listen, Gottlieb, I don't know how to say his name, Yadis or whatever they.
Yeah.
A Dizzy, I think somebody said you got to say a Dizzy. Picked them up. These are UFL, I guess, standouts in the UFL league. Big deals, no, but they're roster moves by the Dolphins, so I felt like we should at least threw that in there. But what I did want to say is, shout out to them finally. Now, let's see. Now, I hope they don't bring this man. Finally getting rid of Keon Smith. Because I got a question for y'all. Why was Keon Smith on this team this whole time? Y'all know he was on this team 5 years.
5 years.
I'm glad. When I found that out, I was shocked. 5 years. Now, within those 5 years, he got cut, brought to the practice squad, released, brought to the practice squad. Like, I made the roster when we had injuries. Played horrible. If y'all remember, he was the one that got benched. Remember in the game, the one game he played, got benched, and he still was able to finish the season on the roster.
They need depth.
Like, what? I'm like, were they that bad that people like that made it 5 years on his roster? God bless his soul. For him to be, nah. Shout out to Sully and Happy for saying, bro, you're dead weight. You haven't improved. Get off this roster. They cut him and didn't bring the one in. Like, he got cut with another dude that we don't know who it is. And they bought it in. UFL tackle. And no, shout out. I don't have the picture. I wish I had the picture. No, if you can send me, I'm going to try to upload it. I want y'all to see the tackle that they brought in. The man looked petrified in the picture that Lou showed us. And that was in the UFL. And they cut Keon Smith to bring him in. Yo, what was our previous regime thinking about with having these players on our team? But other than that, I just think that's the only noteworthy thing that I had to say about that. I just want, we had to cover the Dolphin news, so let's add that in. But that was something. The more you know, I'll say that. Go do your research and you find some things out that you would have never thought you can see. Like I thought it was you. I thought Easy E and Shannon Tindall, like at least they were draft picks that had 4-year contract. Like he had no excuse for Keon Smith. Not one. And the man made up. He's able to retire an NFL vet right now. I just want y'all to know that. Shout out to the Miami Dolphins.
I don't know why y'all are laughing at Keon Smith, man.
Shout out.
The man was on the team because he was versatile, Tone. The man was versatile. There's versatility is the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? Versatility.
That was not Chris Greer's name of the game. That wasn't his motto. Don't try to use that for him. No, I'm sorry. I just had to look at that and say we couldn't do that. No, come on, we could do better than that. This regime. Look here. Look at Vondo. Vondo saw the picture. Like, come on, bro. But outside of that, if y'all got anything that y'all want to talk about when it comes to the Dolphins roster moves, or we could just move on now.
Well, I'll ask y'all a quick question. I do have one question for both of y'all on Major Burns and this other guy that we got. Tone, I'm like you. I'm not even going to try to say his name. If I had to ask y'all, though, over, under, when training camp starts, they last the first 2 weeks. Either one of them. Over, under.
Major Burns has a shot. I'll say that. We ain't got no safety, no secondary like that. But I'm going under. I'm just going under.
That's all I'm saying.
They need a certain amount to go into training camp with. So hey,
they have camp bodies.
It's a tryout. Like let's call it what it is. It's a bona fide tryout. See if you can do anything. See if you can pick this up. But they're already behind the 8 ball with just learning the playbook, learning the installs, learning what the defensive coordinator want to do. Granted, covering is a lot different. But I don't listen. If Major Burns makes it past the first cut, then salute to him because hey, one cut down, we on to the next one.
Oh no, Finceni, they only do one cut nowadays. So
that's right. That is right. That is right.
Yeah, they only cut one cut.
One. I apologize for that. I'm out of practice, but yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah, he's up out of there. He's up out of there. Okay. Listen. Once again, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. There will be another poll going up momentarily because we need to get into the conversation that we had last night over on TD Fence Talk. Please make sure you go and watch that show. Like it. Get the numbers up on that. We really appreciate all the new subscribers. We see you in the chat. Much love for being here.
Lewis. And make sure y'all subscribe if it's y'all first time. We're 10 away from 890. If y'all could get us to 890, that'd be very appreciated. Shout out to Ghana. I see Vondo going crazy in the chat. And stop his time. Shout out to Ghana for doing their thing.
With 8 seconds left. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Ghana's like the United States. Once they get out of group stage, they'll be done.
Man, don't derail the show.
They're one and done out of group stage.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
So Lewis, last night Tony and I we had a great discussion about Brendan Sorsby and the implications about potentially the Dolphins putting in a bid for him and all that. I just honestly want to know your thoughts. And guys, this is where the firework part of the show is about to begin. Go ahead, Lou.
Absolutely, the Dolphins should put a bid in for him. Now again, what kind of bid should they put on for him? I'm not going first, second, third. Not even probably fourth, but anything after that, fifth and beyond, absolutely they should send that in. I could be wrong, right? Pardon me, I could be wrong. Ain't the objective to get as many good football players on the team as you can? That's what.
That's part of the objective.
That is the objective, right? Yeah, when I can add a quarterback that arguably, right, there's people that had him as the second quarterback behind Fernando Mendoza if he would have came out this season, right? They had him as let's say a late first round pick, second round pick, even that, right? Why would you not go and get that if you can only have to give up a 6th-round pick or a 7th-round pick to get him? I'm not saying that is. I'm just throwing scenarios out. Because what I don't like this fan base doing is the same thing that we all criticize people for doing with the Tua Tagovailoa situation. We gave everything to Tua. There was nothing earned. It was just gave. Well, I'm sorry to break everybody's hearts out here, and this is why I really wish I was on TD's show last night, because TD is hell-bent on telling people that Malik can be great. And listen, hopefully I'm wrong and TD's right? Hopefully Malik is elite and he plays elite and we find our guy, we got our answer. I would ask TD, though, how sure can you be when all you got is a game and a half? Because what I'm here to tell people is Malik Washington was never elite in college. Malik Washington has never been elite in the NFL unless you want to say a game and a half. The fact of the matter is, you go and see if you can get Brandon Sorsby, because quarterback if you don't have a quarterback in this league, you don't have a team. You can have every aspect. You can have the running back. You can have the offensive line. You can have the coach. If you don't have the quarterback, it don't matter. We know what that is. We know what it's about. So at this point, yeah. Now I know what Tony. Well, I don't know what Tony will say. We'll see. But from the aspect of the gambling, right? I get it. There is major concern in that aspect. There is no sugarcoating that. It's a red flag. It's a major concern. We don't even know if the NFL will allow him to play or he'll get suspended. I'm just talking about outside the talent, what he has. I could argue that he has a stronger arm than Quinn Ewers. I could argue that from the mobility standpoint, he's closer to Malik Washington or Malik Willis than Quinn Ewers is to Malik Willis, right? If that's what we're going to argue. At the end of the day, Finsanity, to answer your question in tone, I'll throw it right to you. Again, first, second, third, nah. Would I be mad, Tone, with a 4th? If he ended up working out, would we be mad? No. So it would, for me, I would probably start with a 5 and beyond. But if the Dolphins threw out a 4 out there just to, let's say, see if they could get him, and he worked out for a 4th, I wouldn't be mad. I don't think nobody would be mad. So yes, I would. To answer the question, I would definitely put in a bid for Brandon Sorsby.
Well, I would say this, right? And if you're gonna put in a bid, I don't mind. See, now the bid comes with the clown show. It comes with outside distractions. It comes with all of the things that we killed the previous regime for having that type of environment in this building. And now all of a sudden, we're going to overlook that, right? And then again, that's cool if you feel that way. But we also say this part. When you go identify your guy, which we can all agree, they identify Malik Willis as their guy, right? We are the same people that say, where you can't find no team that have their guy quarterback, they don't go bring in competition for him. We said that, right? And at the very least, if you're not 100% convicted on him and saying, if you're not one of the ones that say he's the top, level, or he's a potential first round grade, he has a potential first round grade, then at the end of the day, it's not worth what comes with it. It isn't. It's not worth you having to worry about the clown show. Somebody made a great joke. I think it was Steve. You're bringing in a guy that's for gambling, and we play in a stadium called Hard Rock Stadium, named after the casino. The jokes with that alone is going to fly, right? The media attention, unwanted attention, is going to fly. Now, Vicinity Lewis, correct me if I'm wrong, but since they've been here, the one thing we credit them for is to not let anything become a distraction. Am I right? Let's be real.
Yeah. For the most part, for sure.
So now let's not all of a sudden change to become Brendan Sharby became available and now act like if we're cool with a distraction coming in this building. The only way I would even potentially be cool with that is if you was 100% convinced that he's going to be your quarterback in waiting. Okay, cool. Because right then, Malik Willis, you're telling them, hey, once you're 2 years up, we got this guy here. Because I hear what what Lewis is saying. He's saying, "Oh, you can use him as trade bait. You can that. You know what teams do that? The team that already have the established quarterback. Those are the ones that bring guys in and say, okay, we're gonna develop him and trade him. When you bring Brendan Shoresby in, right? Guess what? Him and Malik Willis are the same person. They're still in their developmental stage, right? They're still out here to prove that they're franchise quarterbacks. So for me, it's like the same. I have the same energy that I had for why I didn't initially want them to bring in Malik Willis in the first place. The situation that they're in for the cap. To me, it just didn't seem beneficial for us. And that's just coming from a fan from the outside looking in and say, I want what's best for this franchise. Because I didn't see, even though afterwards I went in, well, we all went and watched the film and said, okay, I see what it was to like with him. But I wasn't convinced that he was worth taking a risk on in a season that we knew we was going to get rid of all our weapons. We said this from day one.
Well,
we know Tyreek wasn't going to be here.
Well, Tone, the only thing I would say real quick, right, because I don't want you to, I'm not trying to cut you off, but you said something to where you said Hafley and Sully, since they've been here, right, they haven't wanted some of the distractions.
Right.
Could I, and again, I'm just going to ask you the question so you can continue, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. Could I argue, Tone, maybe those guys are not worried about the distractions neither? Because I would say, let's say me, you, and Finsanity, we didn't want Tua here no more. And the majority of people didn't want Tua here no more. But when they cut him, we do know there was a section of fans, right, that they were going to be in an uproar. They didn't seem to care about that, right? Mm-hmm. Then in the draft, we all did a lot of work on the draft. There was a lot of players that were taken that we were like, it was head scratching. They seemed like they didn't care about that. Like whatever the media would say or fans would say, like that would be also a distraction. Could I make the case that Hafley and Sully seem like, and it's kind of like what I said earlier, Tone, like they're not worried about it. They're guys that, if a problem arises or a situation is there, they're the kind of guys that are going to hit it front on. Like there ain't going to be no discussion about it. We all know what Mike McDaniel was, right? Supposedly he was a pushover, this, that, and the third. I don't get that from Sully and Hafley. So could I debate that, Tone, that they're not, they wouldn't make a move like this because they're not the kind of guys that would worry about some of the distractions or whatever? They would just nip it in the butt and like, hey, we win, we got them, end the story. You think that there was a possibility of that?
See now, no. And the part is because, see, the actions that you took don't come with distractions. They may come with questions, but then you can move on. Because everyone was going on by their merry business. Those aren't distractions, Lou. A distraction, these are off the field distractions. Bringing in a clown house that you don't have control over. Because once they made they drop pick, this is the reason behind it. Now move forward. Once you bring him in, the question about the gambling and all that is going to be there. You could say, well, we did that. If we want to worry about that, it don't matter. Because you know who's going to be talking about it? ESPN. Everyone that's out of your control, that's going to cover it, whether because you control our media, guys. We know that. You can't control them people on ESPN. See, the story is bigger than what you can control. Everything else that we did, okay, that's part of our control. You know, people, the Rams. Look what they dropped. They dropped the Ty Simpson. Big distraction is what you say. I'm not going to say distraction, but that came and go because that's what it happens in the draft.
But that's what I'm saying.
People understand that.
But what you're saying though is again, even with the Tyson, what you just said. See, that's not a distraction though. If ESPN is talking about it, it's outside noise outside the building.
But that is a distraction.
Right? But see, I don't look at it as a distraction like that. That's just outside noise.
But right? Outside noise is a distraction.
But don't you think
that's where the distraction come from? Because you're going to be asked for it. You're going to hear everywhere you go. Players
but
are
that's
going
what I'm saying. Couldn't you? Don't you think those guys could come out and say? Because we've seen, like, think about New England for the past 20 years with Belichick. They would ask questions, cool, but it was a rule. Belichick would go in the media and say, "This is what it is," and then all the players would just say, and it would just go away, right? Yeah. It wasn't like a different distraction. Don't you think Sully and Hafley could do something like that?
No, because what you keep leaving out is the questions that was been asked about The Patriots had nothing to do with off-field issues, nothing to do with outside distractions that you're going to be asked for, regardless of what is the type that you're going to be mad at. They didn't have that because they kept those type of players out of the building. That's how they was able to control it so well. And that's the difference. That brings all kind of drama. All kind of you know what type of distraction that is? The Tua Tyreek distraction. They was avoiding those questions, but it still came up. People still talked about it because it's a certain thing that you just you cannot get over. It's going to always, because for instance, there's going to always be a question, no matter how good he play, right? There's going to always be a question. Oh, do y'all think he's going to ever get caught? Do y'all think, anything can bring that distraction back up? See, now with let's just say the drafting and all that, all he's got to do is play well. No more questions asked. If Brendan Shorsby play well, that question's still going to be asked. If he play terrible, that question still is going to be asked because it's a gambling situation. It ain't have nothing to do with play on field. It's off field issue, which is the difference with the distractions.
But don't you think, again, we've seen players and sometimes the risk is always worth the reward, right? And I would say a quarterback is worth that risk. Like, because I'm going to ask you, Tone, flat out. In that scenario, then, are you taking here moving on forward? Are you taking out any outside distractions? Like, let's say a kid has in college, he's been busted for a DUI, or he had, let's say, whatever off the field issues. But he would, again, perfect example, Jeremiah Smith.
There you go.
We know what he is. But if he has, let's say, off the field issues, and the Dolphins have a chance to get him, you're not taking him because of off the field issue. If there's going to be a distraction, like I don't know if I agree with that. Listen, it's good to have good guys in the locker room. You also have to have a mixture of some maybe not so well. Maybe some guys you might have to worry about. Maybe some guys you have to, live on edge with when, it could be beneficial to you and the football team.
Well, see, now this is where it's a difference. See, you brought up Jeremiah Smith. Bonafide, without question, he's going top 5. Without question, I don't care what draft he come in. If Brendan Shorsby one of them people, see, that's what we talk about, the risk. That's why I said
I agree with that.
The problem is what comes with it. He's not worth it. That's the biggest issue. Jeremiah Smith is worth so far what he's been showing you. He's worth looking the other way, right? He is. There's a reason why Josh Gordon, when he had the marijuana issue, a team still put in a second-round pick for him in a supplementary draft because when Josh Gordon was on that field, everyone saw it no matter what. No one questioned why Cleveland took a chance on him. Excuse me. Even though he didn't work out, they were saying, man, it's such a shame that he wasn't able to benefit for his and magnify his talents and his opportunities and capitalize off it. No one is questioning why Cleveland took that chance because the talent was undeniable. Brendan Shorsby is not one of those guys. He isn't. That's my major reason. That's why I said the first thing when I gave pushback is saying, okay, what does he do better than Malik Willis? I'm just trying to figure out. What does he do? You don't.
Yeah, but I think I
you don't bring in questions like that.
And I agree. I see what you're saying, Tone, right? I agree. But when we say if the aspect or the question you're asking is what does he do better than Malik Willis, that's talking about from an trait standpoint. Like Malik Willis has more traits. He's faster, has a better arm. Cool. I get all that. If we're going to play that game, though, it kind of gets in a gray area for me because I'll use Anthony Richardson with the Indianapolis Colts as an example. Is Brandon Swordsby, what can he do better than Anthony Richardson? Probably the answer is nothing.
No,
he don't have the arm that Anthony Richardson. He don't run like Anthony Richardson.
He's more accurate.
But I would say he's a better quarterback. He's a better player.
Okay,
right? But he's not.
Yeah, but is he better than Malik Willis? Accuracy. He's more accurate when it comes to playing quarterback.
We don't. That's what I'm saying. We get in a gray area. We're coming off.
No. I know
Malik Willis being off a game and a half, Tone. Let's be fair now. A game and a half.
I'm talking about watching him play. Period. Go back to college. I'm
Oh,
just
but
telling
listen,
you.
I would say Brandon Sorsby had the same career as Malik Willis in college. I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
Now, when you say that, okay, so what does he do better? Does better. And then one of them, right? One of them has showed you some success in the NFL, and then he has the traits. So no matter how you, which way you shake it, which way you try to twist and turn it, right? You look at Malik Willis, and he's gonna check marks that Brendan Shorsby isn't on him. That's the reason why these are the things that you take in consideration. Like, is it worth? Now, after he's not checking the marks on Malik Willis, and then you add in the off-field distractions, bro, that's a no. As a GM, it's like, nah, it ain't. It's not that worth it. Plus, I'm sorry, like you don't do that in the situation that you're in your first season. You're not solidified on any position, right? And the next thing you do is bring in another questionable quarterback. I think that's just a recipe for disaster. To me, it's the rest. Now if we had Patrick Mahomes, if we had a Josh Allen, if we had a Lamar Jackson, a Joe Burrow, you go down the list and name the quarterbacks that's established. Hey, hell, even if you have the younger ones that you are established at quarterback and established that's your franchise guy. You throw, hey, listen, I'm throwing this out there. At this point, he's trade bait. We're not in a position to do that. So I'm taking all that in consideration. The position that we in, the type of player that he showed me, the potential. Is it worth bringing in an outside distraction? That's all. And for me, I would prefer not to. And this is just talk about franchise. As a fan, okay, more the merrier. I ain't got to deal with those distractions. If he pans out, right? If he pans out, me as a fan, I'm like, cool. If he don't, me as a fan, we're like, hey, you messed up. You should have knew better. You know what I'm saying? And I keep it moving. But up here, I'm trying to educate, our listeners, and I have to give an honest assessment of what I think is best for the franchise and take away just my fandom hat and say, nah, I think the outside noise isn't worth. You know what they say? The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get it. I just think a quarterback is always going to be it's always going to be worth the risk.
And some people do think that.
That's where I just disagree. I'm sorry. I don't think again, when I'm hearing what you're saying, and I know you're not saying it, but it just sounds like, oh, we have Malik Willis here and he's just so much better. I don't know if Malik Willis is so much better than Brandon Sorsby. I do think as of now, since he has game experience and he's been an NFL player, right? Yes, he's better. But how much better? Like, again, Tony, I'm not trying to say that you're saying this, right? I'm just saying it just sounds like, well, what does he do better? Well, probably nothing. But how much better, or with the sample size that we have? Because, again, Malik has never been elite in college, and I'm sorry, to call a player elite, or to even say he has elite traits off a game and a half of football, bro. Nah, I don't think he's like that better than Brandon Sorsby. I don't. I'm sorry. I won't. And for a
now ask the
I'm
same
always
question
gonna
about
risk.
Brandon Shoresby, Lou. That's cool when you say it's from that end. Now ask the same exact questions about Brandon Shoresby.
What do you mean? The same questions.
Is he elite? How much better is he? Is he? If you think he's better than Malik Willis, what has he been in college? What has he shown you?
Well, again, he showed me. This is what I'm saying. He showed me that's what Malik Willis showed me. He's mobile. What? He can escape the pocket. He can extend plays. He can make all the throws. Like, again, I don't understand what we're talking about.
Oh, no. I said ask because you said that because all of these things he showed you can make plays. You didn't say nothing about nothing elite. Nothing. So now you're not talking about elite because what I thought was good was very interesting is when you tried to make a comparison to a person that was worth the challenge. You said basically what everyone without question think he's a can't miss prospect. Jeremiah Smith, Brandon Shoresby is nowhere near that. These are why you can say he has to check those books. Those whether you think he's as good or a little, just not as better as Malik, that is a question that you have if he don't have off-field issues. When you add in them off-field issues, those cannot be questioned. That's what I'm saying. Whether you think it is or not, the fact that there's a question there, stay away from it. Is it worth it? And that's for me.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's for you, and I understand. What I'm saying is a quarterback that is, again, has a first-round talent on him, right? Yeah, it's worth it. It is worth it. Because at the end of the day, bro, the quarterbacks are the ones that's the one position that can change your franchise, right? And again, everybody's high on Malik Willis. I like Malik Willis too. I'm high on him, right? But it's a game and a half. That's what we seen his elite traits in a game and a half. Miss me with, we got more, again. I'm not trying to. I don't want to sound like
stay away from a game and a half. I didn't mention nothing about his game.
But no. But I'm just telling. But that's what I'm telling you, Tom. What I'm saying is, we took this gamble on a guy. Your argument is, well, there's off the field issues.
He don't have off field issues. That's what the biggest.
I agree.
That's the part that you can't eliminate. Everything you're saying would be good, but you cannot eliminate off the field issues. Change the whole dynamic of everything. What you think about with Brandon Short?
And I'm saying, for me, I think Hafley is a no-nonsense kind of guy. I think Hafley or Sully is, a no-nonsense kind of guy. And you're going to have to eventually take chances. There's going to come a time and place where a Dolphin player gets in trouble. There's going to be off-field distractions, this, that, and third, and you're going to have to overcome that. This ain't no perfect world. And what I'm saying is, bro, you have no answer at the quarterback position. And I hear a lot of people, and it's like, oh, we've got our guy. We found our answer. And I don't believe so. Because if we're going to really be evaluators and really talk about what Malik Willis is, we got more tape of him being terrible than we got of him being elite. And we sit out here and we talk like we found our guy for the next 12 years. That's what a lot of people say. Like, all I hear is about all these elite traits. And I know you're not saying the tone, but this is what I'm bringing to the evaluation. I get the outside noise. I'm just talking about on the field. There's a case, Brandon Short he's close to Malik Willis. Outside of, he's never taken a snap in the NFL. He's not a veteran like that. Mobile, can make all the throws. What are we talking about?
See,
it's a risk. Tone, you're on the other side. I would love to hear what Vincenti made her point yesterday. I get it. I'm just saying, again, bro, a quarterback is what makes or breaks your football team, and the more, the merrier for me. I can't go out and just be like, well, there's an off-the-field issue. Hey, he's off my board. For me, I'm not like that, Tone. I'm sorry. The risk is
you guess what? And to be honest with you, if we really going to be 1,000% honest, those are the type of decisions that get GM fired. Because, and then let's just, if we're going to say, like how you say you can't do it, right? Well, let's keep Lou keeping the same energy from a loose perspective. All of this that you say that you think he's close and he's never been elite, and this first round grade, us over here, we don't go based off what we see on the outside noise. But we do make a big thing about, okay, when you're doing your best, who you doing it against? And when you go up against competition, how do you look? Now, one of your biggest detractions from Chris Johnson is where he did it at and who he played against. So are you going to keep the same energy for Brandon Shortby? For all of this talent that he's supposed to have, he played in the Big 12. Right? And what they were, a 500 team? But every time he played against teams that was of noteworthy, he didn't look too good. Right? And all I'm saying is, we judge people based off those games. So when he started playing them ranked teams, not the same Brandon Shoresby. Right?
Absolutely.
So can we keep that same energy? Because his games don't look the same. His stats are different. They're losing them games. So I'm just saying.
That is an absolute great point, Tone. And I can't debate it. I'll try to, though. Right? Well, then again, Malik Willis never played nobody in college because he played at Liberty. right? And then if we're going to talk what real, we have a 1-game sample size of Malik playing very well in a loss. Because what we do know is our starting quarterback, our $45 million quarterback, looked terrible against everybody in Tennessee. When teams were, again, and go back to the conversation us three had on Monday's show about game plan. When they game plan for Malik Washington or Malik Willis when he was the starting quarterback, he looked terrible against everybody in the league. When they didn't game plan for him is the only time he looked good. So I'll ask you, are we going to keep the same energy now?
Well, I'm glad you said that because they did game plan for him in Baltimore.
That's what I said. Outside that one game.
But that's the sample size. So we do have him showing. Now, I think this is very intriguing. So when we talk about same energy, let's keep it. He had one sample size, but the 2 seasons, right? 3 touchdowns in each season, 0 interceptions. He looked good the 2 seasons that he played. Let's go both of the seasons. We see him play very well, right? And it starts very well. No one, and I don't care who you name, bring up what you just tried to do with Malik Willis against any quarterback that struggled at the beginning of the season and then turned around and start to show promise. We don't do that with Josh Allen. How many times you hear people bring up how terrible Josh Allen looked when he first started in the league? They don't, because he improved, and they only judge him by how he was playing at the time. How many times do they bring up Peyton Manning, how terrible he started? Drew Brees, how horrible he looked. Right? We don't do that for them. We only judge them by how they were playing at the time. So why all of a sudden we want to do that of, oh, he looked terrible in Tennessee, but how he looked in Green Bay?
Didn't Josh Allen go to the playoffs his rookie season?
No. Are you crazy?
You sure about that?
Josh Allen, Lou? No.
Yeah.
No. We didn't. Josh Allen, remember, they thought Josh Allen was gonna be a boss.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Like did you forget how terrible his they didn't think he was gonna be able to play quarterback in the league. No one brings that up.
Do you think Josh Allen in his rookie season showed more flashes than Malik Willis did in Tennessee?
His first year?
Yeah, as a rookie. Josh Allen as a rookie. Do you think he showed more flashes than what Malik Washington or Malik Willis did?
In his first years or? Like,
yeah,
overall.
Let's say his first 2 years.
He started more games, so yes, I would have to say he did, but he still looked terrible. He looked horrible, right? But he did show promise, and I would not take that away. But it took him all the games to show promise. You know what I'm saying? So if Malik Willis had the same amount of opportunities, cool, we can. But that still don't change the fact that, hey, man, listen. All I'm saying is he was terrible at the beginning of his career. Peyton Manning was terrible at the beginning of their career. No one Drew Brees was terrible in the beginning of his career. No one bring up how terrible they started. They only talk about how they play now. So that's all I'm saying. From what I've seen, that'll be, I'm not gonna say hypocritical, but I think that'd be a disservice, right? A disservice for me to say that, oh, Malik Willis, he would play terrible in Tennessee. He played terrible in Tennessee, so I'm going to ignore how he played in Green Bay. That's like what are we doing?
No. Again, Tone. I'm not taking away what he did in Green Bay. What I'm saying is,
but you judging him based on what he did in Tennessee.
Well, I'm just throwing. I'm also talking about what he did at Liberty. I'm saying we come out and we say we have an elite quarterback now off a game and a half of elite play against Green.
But no, this is not about him being elite. This is about, no one said elite. You're throwing that in. What we're saying is,
I'm telling you what people have said.
But let's just think about Malik Willis as they paid him to be our quarterback, and then Brendan Shorsby. Forget about him being elite. All I'm saying is, has Brendan Shorsby showed you enough to where you think it's worth bringing that outside distraction into this building?
Absolutely. Outside,
and I don't see how. I just don't.
I'm just telling you. Well, and again, this is why these conversations are great. For me, it's because he plays the quarterback position. And as of right now, I don't believe the Dolphins have found their answer yet. Now Malik could be our
But
answer.
Brenda,
Week six, we could be like, oh, he is elite. Malik is our guy, right? You can tell very early. All I'm saying is, if I have a chance to bring a first round talent into the building at a position that we still have questions about, for me, Tone, it's worth the risk. I'm sorry. It's not like I'm offering a first round pick, a second round pick, and then with the distractions. But if you're telling me, let's say there's a chance, Tone Insanity, that teams are so scared of him, right? They don't want to touch him. And you could throw a 6th-round pick out there. You mean to tell me, at a position of need, a 6th-round pick, you're not taking that chance because of an outside distraction? You might have to answer questions for a week, 2 weeks. I'm sorry, bro. Now, miss me with that. I'm sorry. I disagree with that. 100 out of 100 times I'm taking that risk.
Well, I'm not, because it's not. I take a risk on people that I think are worth taking a risk. I'm not taking a risk on a guy that is not unquestionable, right? It got to be without question, unquestionable, the top guy. I'm just not doing that. I'm so sorry. Somebody, Josh Allen was trash. Yeah, he was trash. But somebody said that I was wrong.
Yeah, that was Michael K, and he just said he was wrong.
Oh, I was finna say, okay, they corrected. I'm like, oh, go fact check yourself before you try to. I know you're trying to help your boy Lou out, but go fact check. Josh Allen was horrible. We Dolphin fans over here. We know him. But at the end of the day, the only difference is, and I get what you're saying, Lou. The only difference is for me to, and I'm taking everything into account. Where we at as a team, where we at the quarterback position, where we at as a front office. It makes absolutely no sense to take a chance on a guy that isn't what we would deem a can't miss prospect, or to bring questions in. It's, to me, it's just, I'm like, no. If I'm a GM, I'm like, the risk is not worth the reward. That's all I'm saying. Because coming in your first year, you're gonna take a chance like that, and if that crash and burn, they looking at you crazy. Like, your first 2 moves at quarterback was to bring in Malik Willis with questions, and then bring a guy up with off-field distractions.
Now, Tone, right there, that is a very fair point, right? So from that standpoint, I agree. But I don't know how you and Insanity will feel about this. But if Malik Willis fails, I'm still looking at that team. I'm looking at them sideways because they didn't have to make that move neither.
Right, and that's a fair. That's why I said you can't make two. That you might not be able to survive that, because it's already questioned. Like, we can admit that, but it's questioned. You brought in Malik Willis, you ain't even without a thought from what you've seen in practice. And then listen, if that crash and burn, it's hard to explain that. It's hard to explain. Why did you take a risk on that when the fact that you picked this guy up, you paid him. You paid him. He was a free agent. You didn't have to do it with the salary cap situation. And then you go take a risk on that with the potential of that crashing and burn? Please give me the mindset behind that. And good luck trying to convince the owner not to fire you. Especially one that had that type of quarterback issues, that type of bad decision making, that just getting rid of, that has handcuffed this franchise for years to come. Me personally, the talent is not there. Like now, if you give me somebody that was slated as a, Jeremiah Smith type candidate, then you like, well, listen, there isn't no GM, no front office that wasn't willing to take that risk, no matter what situation you are in. I can answer you that. I can give you that. You cannot look me in my eyes or anyone in their eyes and say there isn't no GM that would take that same risk with Brendan Shorsby. No one can say that. Even right now, there's question about how many teams or potential teams that is even going to submit an offer in the supplementary draft. And that's the only thing when I'm saying that the risk is not worth the reward or the potential reward. Cookie Monster say, is yours better? I mean, is Shorsby better than yours? I think he had a potential to be, for sure. I mean, because I can say, because this is what I could use, right? Because when we say Quinn Ewers, I could easily say, oh, he's slated to be a top first round pick. So was Quinn Ewers before he went back to college. And Quinn Ewers, college, was he was more highly touted than Brendan Shorsby ever was in college. Ever. He has never been as highly touted as Quinn Ewers was in college at Texas. Brendan Shorsby had never got nowhere close to that, right? He was in Heisman talks. He was potential number 1 overall pick. This was Quinn Ewers. Don't forget about who Quinn Ewers was in college before the injury. So I'm just saying, I could say he has the potential to be, but that'll just be an assumption because we going by what they accomplished in college. It's night and day. It's not even close what Quinn Ewers did and Brendan Shorsby. So, excuse me, I'm not even confident enough to say that. And I would just answer your question on Cookie Monster. Vicinity, we've been going back and forth. I know Lou said he wanted to get your take to see how you feel about it.
I've been enjoying the show. My opinion on what?
Welcome back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my opinion on what specifically, Lou?
Well, the Brandon Sorsby situation, like, I heard what you were saying yesterday, but in the conversation we're having now, with the risk factor, do you more believe or kind of sway to what Tony's saying? It's not worth the risk because of the distraction, the outside noise, and the questions maybe that comes with it, or are you more on my side with it being a quarterback position and still us having an unknown like there, right? As currently, we don't know what Malik is. Would the risk be worth the reward?
Yeah, I think it was reported, that teams are going to go, to this pro day, which will be, mid-July. I think it's scheduled for, somewhere mid-July, right before the supplemental draft is going to happen. For me, like I said, on the previous night, to me, it would literally have to come down to the evaluation of him and having a conversation with that young man and seeing where his mind is right now. And can he truly be about the business of football? And I think, like I said, and it's a big if, they go out there, they review his tape that he has put out in college, right? They go out there, they see the pro day, right? It'll be very interesting to see what wide receivers are going to run with him. And they have a conversation, right? A lot of teams are going to talk to him and just about how he addresses the situation, and how, I guess, the time that he has spent, because it was a fairly short amount of time in rehab, what he's learned from it. Is he truly, remorseful? And do I believe that he can, convince someone? Sure. Of course he can. It's in our human nature, to sometimes be very convincing when needed to be. It would really come down to their judgment. If they feel as if this is someone whom they can build this team around in the future. Like, not saying he's going to come in and be the starting quarterback for the 2026 season. Maybe not even 20. It'll be very interesting to see, how that goes, because I do believe, that this is still a tryout for Malik. But if his tape wows Sully and Hafley and anyone else who has to have a discussion about this, right? If it wows them that much and he goes out to the pro day and they see things that they like, then to me, yeah, it's worth the risk, because I'm so far trusting how they are assessing players and how they want to build this team. So I would not fault them if it's a quarterback position, right? Because no matter what, as a GM, you will be judged by the QB that you name your guy. And as of right now, that attachment is to Malik. If you can get a guy that was projected to be a top pick in the upcoming draft, right? And you can get him for a bargain of a pick, and that talent is true to form, and you feel like he could be a guy here, then yes. But do I think you take that on someone that you're just bringing in for, I guess, competition to give a chance, whatever, blah, blah, blah? No, because then it's just a distraction, and it's just a circus. It would literally have to be that at this point, Halfley and Sully are hitching their wagon to this guy. And come hell or high water, this is going to be their guy. This is going to be evaluated for choosing and picking, because you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do it, just like Malik. But at least Malik, right? He's shown, like you saw, like you said, you've seen something in him in practice, right? You said you didn't just bring him over here blinded. There was something in practice that made you believe that he could be a guy for you. Malik has shown those leadership qualities. So then to go into a supplemental draft and to give up a draft pick when you say you want to be able to build through this draft, I understand it is the quarterback position. It is the most important. It has to be something undeniable to make it worth it. But should they do their homework? Absolutely. They should cross every T, dot every I. And if it is not a consensus, yes, across the board, you don't do it. It has to be an undeniable, this is the ship we are willing to go down with. He has to be that undeniable to make it worth it. And if there's a single no, you walk away and you say, hey, it is what it is. Because why? To my point, I feel like we might be in position next year to go out and get one of these quarterbacks that this stuff doesn't come up with. You know, to some people's point, they don't think Miami's going to be in position. So if you don't think Miami's going to be in position, but you're technically kind of in a position to maybe sneak in and backdoor that, then hey, it is what it is. You know, but me thinking, hey, I don't see it right now. And I think Miami will be in position to go out and get one of these, you know, guys that are going to put another year of tape, another year of development in the NCAA football, you know, arena. You got to weigh all those options and how you truly see it. And there are so many variables. So if I had to sum it up, because I feel like I've been talking about it, I'm going to say it as plain as this. It's only worth it if he's going to be your guy. If he's not, don't even flirt with it. Don't even flirt with it.
Well, to that, then I'll just ask the straight up question: if they bring in Sorsby, is he the starting quarterback next year? I mean,
no,
this
I
season.
wouldn't want him to be.
Yeah. If they bring in Sorsby, so you do.
Wait, you mean in 2027 or like this?
Is he a starting quarterback this year? Any year, as long as Malik Willis is going to be here for 2 seasons, regardless if you like him or not. He's under contract for 2026 and 2027. Is Brandon Sorsby going to be the quarterback in 2026 or 2027? Do you think that's what they're bringing him in for?
I mean,
I think
this
I
year,
think they should let them develop and learn what they want this offense to be, and give them that time. I mean, that's the adage or the tutelage that they're coming from, right? They're not necessarily coming from a franchise that just throws, you know, rookie quarterbacks to the fire and say, learn how to swim by just throwing you into the pool or the lake or the pond. Like, you're either going to sink or swim, but you're going to figure it out today. Like, that's how it was, but that's not how they come from. So in my mind, even if they did, I believe that they would allow Sorsby to take those years behind Malik. I would hope so. I would hope that they did that. I would hope that they would be smart to do that, to allow him to develop and learn this offense to where he can do it front ways, back ways, diagonal, crisscross, applesauce, and any form state of mind that he could possibly be in. He would know this offense so intricately that he can just see it. Like, he looks up at a stop sign and he can see a route on it. I don't know, like, but that's how, like, I feel like that's the time that they need to give him to. I personally am tired. I'm very exhausted of seeing young quarterbacks being thrown into the fire. This is such a different level of a sport. Now, some figure it out, and some of them can utilize their athleticism to kind of figure it out. But it is very tough when you have brilliant defensive coordinators that know how to disguise and to deceive you. Just like Mr. I'm Seeing Ghosts is now a Super Bowl champion. He needed time. He needed to understand.
Well, he still was terrible. Let's not forget that he's still Mr. Seeing Goats. Like that didn't change.
Yeah. Right.
He led the league in turnovers last year. People,
he's able to trust himself a lot more. He's able, like the development is there. Like he's able to trust himself more. I don't think the trust that he had in his abilities in New York and in Carolina is way different than the trust of his abilities when he's on Seattle and with the weapons that
the weapons and the team that he has. It covered up he's still the quarterback that making all these turnovers. Let's not forget he had that terrible when the games mattered the most in Minnesota, they looked terrible. And all season in Seattle, he led the league in turnovers last year. People forget that
he's taking risks.
It's just right. So he's the same person.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, cool. The numbers and the turnovers still say that.
Numbers. Okay,
Well, the play on the field to say the same too.
If we looked at his film,
yeah,
right,
it's horrible
of Jets and how he looked and felt out there, comparing it to how he looked and felt in Seattle. Do you think it looks the same?
It looks pretty much the same. Yes.
Okay, Tony.
The turnovers are the same. The numbers are like there's no. You know the difference is the only difference is they're winning. He has a better team around him. He has a defense that builds him out. You know, in the Jet in them Jets, he wasn't leading the league in turnovers. He led them last year.
Like he's taking more risk because he trusted himself more. There's gonna be some things that are like two things that are
right,
true.
but that's why I said just because you trust yourself more.
What does the
it coming with turnovers? So just because you trust yourself more, don't mean that was the right decision.
And listen, maybe he was willing to take more of the risk because of the players that he knew he had out there and the defense that he knew. Right. Sometimes you can't go out there and play fearful. Sometimes
you shouldn't.
So sometimes, and it comes with that sometimes.
But we still can't ignore the results, though.
Huh?
You still can't ignore the results, regardless of.
It was a Super Bowl.
I'm talking about his play. His play. I'm talking about him and his play. Him looking. No, so don't give.
And as bad as his play was, right? As bad as his play was, right? It resulted in what? When he needed to make the throw to JSN, he made the throw. I'm glad that he had a complimentary defense and a run game in Kenneth Walker that helped him out. Absolutely. That's how you win. That's how you win sometimes. But it was so egregious that in the moments that it mattered, they won the division.
Right. I'm not debating the team. I'm talking about the player and his development. That's right. What I'm saying. He's still that same turnover.
The swagger of Sam Darnold is way different.
That ain't change the fact that he was a turnover machine.
You know what? Sometimes, just realistically, we gotta see what the turnovers look like. Is it tips? Is it batted balls? Is it fumbles? Like I didn't watch much of Seattle. I saw them in the playoffs though.
Did you see him in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I saw the Super Bowl. I saw the Super Bowl.
He played bad.
It was Kenneth Walker's game, and I'm glad. Like I said, but
that's all I'm saying.
Don't we say sometimes toward the quarterback, your greatest responsibility is not to be the reason why we lose.
This is not about team. We're talking about the development of players. We're talking about the development of players.
I believe Sam Darnold, to much people's credit, did develop. It may not.
Okay, cool, but not enough to where he didn't have to be bailed out by his team. He didn't have to have a top level.
Had to be bailed out by their team.
But and we don't
not the only one.
And we don't credit him for that though. That's what I'm saying. We're not saying. I'm not saying everyone else. You're trying to say his development is show that he's a night and day player. I'm like, no.
I said
he's still the same.
Better.
He's still the same.
You took it as I said he's night and day. I never said that. The one thing that you have taught me is to never say something that you did not say. Is that something that you believe?
That's what you believe. That's what you just said.
No. You, because I'll be like, Tony, you said, and you be like, I didn't say that.
What did you say?
Like, Tony, I never said that.
You literally just said he developed.
I never said it was night. When did I say it was night and day?
He developed. His development. Not saying.
Did I say it was night and day?
Not the exact term. Night and day. No.
He seems more comfortable.
Okay, more comfortable. He trusts himself more. And before that, about his development.
But did I ever say the words night and day? But
you did say he's not the Sam Darnold that saying goes. You did say that.
No, I said he went from seeing ghosts to winning the Super Bowl. Never
Okay.
said he was not. I
Okay,
never
so
said
what?
he was
Okay,
not that.
okay, cool. So
But
what did that
take
mean?
back.
So
You're
no,
giving
cool.
things.
Listen,
You're
I'm not
making a
denying that.
narrative in
I'm
your
not denying
mind.
that. Okay, so you
You're
got that. I'm
making
not
a
denying
narrative
that.
in your mind.
No,
It's
I'm
okay.
not. I'm saying I'm not denying that. So what does that mean when you say that?
What?
Exactly what does that mean? He went from a guy that was seeing ghosts to a Super Bowl. What did that mean about what you're saying about Sam Darnold?
He went from someone that you thought like he could be the reason why you lost the game to someone who now can manage it. I think
But was
he's
he?
decent.
But was he
I think
managing
he's
the
a
game?
decent. I think he's a decent game manager. I never
So
thought that he was.
have you ever known a guy that was considered a game manager to lead the league in turnovers? That's what the game management is, the one that don't take risks and they don't come with
Hold on,
turnovers.
wait a minute. See, now you're trying to make it like that. Here's the thing. Have I ever known a guy to be a game manager to lead the league in turnovers? I'll be honest with you. I would have to do the research on that. I would literally have to do the research on that.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think the term game manager come from?
Friday, and we will talk about it.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
We will talk about it on Friday.
Right now,
Give
what
me time to do the
please?
research on it.
We can talk about it now. What do you think the term game management comes?
No, you're not going to draw me into a debate.
No, not that. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that.
What?
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. What do you think the term game management means? Before you go do your research, that's why I said we could talk about it now. What do you think that term comes from? What type of style of quarterback are they trying to explain?
Okay, without you interrupting, because this has become way outside of Brendan Sorsby, right? To me, I've always said that minimally, if you were looking at like if quarterback had to put in a resume, right? The minimal thing that they have to be able to do is to manage a game. Minimally. Like that is a precursor prerequisite. Now to break that down, right? You're not necessarily trying to do too much. You run the plays, you execute the offense, you're hopefully minimizing turnovers, right? You take what the defense gives you. You're not necessarily out here just trying to make splashy things. You follow the game plan as it is structured. You like it is as basic 101 as possible to me. That's it. Nothing, it doesn't have to be flashy. It's hey, hand it off. Whatever the game plan is, let's go out there and execute that.
Now, do you put Sam Darnold in that category? Now, do you put Sam Darnold in that category?
Do I think he can be? Do I think he's a game manager?
Yeah. Do you put him in that category? What you just explained. Do you put Sam Darnold in that category?
From what I watched, because I'm not going to say I was out here watching Seattle every single week. I'm not going to say it, but from what I've seen, I do believe that the way he looked on the field, the feel of it is 100% different from his rookie year versus what year is he in now? You don't think that, hold up, okay, bet. You don't think that Sam Darnold looks more comfortable on the field?
That's not the question I asked you.
See, you're trying to lead the conversation.
I'm asking you. You said games manager, and I'm asking you, did you put him in that category?
And I can, just like you can ask me questions, can I ask you questions?
Yes.
And that was my whole point, is that you made it bigger than what it was. I just said he developed and he feels like, I feel like he trusts himself more because he feels more comfortable on the field. I didn't go out here and say he was a world beater. I never went out here and said he was good. I never went out here and said he was great. I never went out here and said, any of these things that you're trying to wrap this thing around. I just said, I feel like he developed and he feels better on the field. Like he looks better on the field.
And I said he was the same quarterback. So I didn't say he was great. I just said he was the same quarterback.
And if you think that he is the same, so you don't think he's developed at all?
When you call he's developed, but he's still the same quarterback.
Do you think that he developed at all?
Yeah, he developed. He had some good games, but his downfall and the things that cost him that he had problems and troubles with in the Jets, and then It's the same quarterback that he's still
Can I,
a turnover magnet. Like, hold on, because you said,
no, go ahead because I was
and
at
the Jazz.
behind
Remember,
Tony, but now
he
we're
was
here.
the number
Go ahead.
2 overall pick. So remember,
He was.
he still had the strong arm. He still had
Mm-hmm.
all the capabilities. He had all
Mm-hmm.
of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
His problem was the turnovers. That was his problem.
And a lot of quarterbacks struggle with that throughout the year. Some guys will come in and be a turnover machine, and then they'll develop. They'll find a way to win, but they're still making the same turnover mistakes.
No, never saying that. But I'm just saying that
So
he's the
like
same.
I'm trying to understand then if other quarterbacks can do that, right? The end all be all.
I won't come out here and say that they're not the same person. I would just say that he's who he is. I'm not gonna say that he's a different quarterback.
It's listen, even Josh Allen last year resorted back to some of the same mistakes, and he's shown for years where like, hey, I'm gonna minimize the turnovers, and I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to
And
not
we still say Josh Allen is Josh Allen.
Get fumble the ball, but guess what? It reared its ugly head. Sometimes when you press, sometimes when you get outside of that. But do we still not say that Josh Allen has developed and he's a better quarterback than what he was his rookie year and his sophomore year?
Yeah,
Yes, sometimes you have some.
See, Josh
It's
Allen.
hard to teach. What's the name? But like they had to make a conscientious effort to be like, Josh, don't do this. Don't play like this. Don't do that. There's times, no lie, when I can go out there and I can see Lamar and like I'm like, okay, he doesn't utilize his legs as much as he used to, but he still has it. Like I know of Lamar, I mean, outside of the injuries, because I mean that does take a toll on you and stuff like that. But Lamar can still do it. But what did they do? They said, hey, Lamar, we're going to try to get you to throw from the pocket. We're going to try to teach you this. We're going to try to do this, right? But at the end of the day, Lamar's greatest asset and skill set will always be his legs. And we've seen him in times where like, hey, I gotta make something happen. Resort back to that. Now, if you want to stick to turnovers, then that's cool. If he's pressing, I would have to go look at the game. But yeah, sometimes it is a defense job to try to show quarterbacks other looks, to try to disguise things, to try to have them misread. And sometimes you catch them. Sometimes you catch them, and they got turnovers. Sure, absolutely. But
So
if I can say that I've seen some development, I will then not say that blatantly they are blanketed the same carbon copy. Yes, do they still have some of the same traits? Yes, but it doesn't mean that they're the exact. And I'm not going to say exact because you didn't say exact. It doesn't mean that they're the same quarterback because the decisions, and that's why I said I would have to look at it like, is the decision the same? Is the throw the same? Like, are you still getting fooled by the same things? Even Peyton Manning has gotten fooled. Tom Brady has gotten fooled by disguises, right? But it was less likely that it was like you really had to catch him at the right time because of the way that they played. And these are like the greats of the greats. Would I ever put Sam Darnold in a conversation like that? No, I wouldn't even say Sam Darnold is a top 10 quarterback right now. Respectfully.
Yeah, I'm just talking about. I was just merely speaking about his development, not
I feel
comparing him. So like his just years. Oh, go ahead.
Are we going by the numbers or are we going by the film? I just want to know.
Both of them. We could go by both of them. See, my issue was his turnovers, which was his biggest issue.
That's just one aspect of his game. There's more aspects.
But that was his issue. That way he had to develop from. Right.
There's more to that than just his turnovers that he needed to develop from.
Right. That there is.
But if you want to go with the big, I guess the biggest, and just focus on that one. If I want to look at the development of a quarterback, and I want to say, is he the same then as he is now? I would not just minimize it to one topic. We would have to go every single thing and say, do I think he's better now than he was then? I am not going to get drugged into one of these traps that you are trying to lay, respectfully, on just trying to make this a one topic thing. No. If you can say to me, like, just blanket right now, okay? Seeing Sam Darnold, do you think the Sam Darnold that was on the Jets, right? If you put that player, that mind, that development, and all that rookie until however many years it was, right? and you take him and you put him on the Seattle Seahawks of last year, that season, if you can tell me that that same guy still, well, that team with that guy, because it was a team win, that you cannot take away what that defense was able to do. And Kenneth Walker was absolutely phenomenal late, right? If you're telling me, though, that you can take that quarterback and put him on that Super Bowl winning team and switch him out and it's still going to be the same, then I'll let you say that he's the same player. But if you can't tell me that, then you can't tell me that's the same player.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. I believe that
so
the guy
you think,
that
okay.
I believe the guy that was in New York is still the guy that's in Seattle. It just he has a better team around him.
Okay.
So his mistakes doesn't kill them as much.
Okay. And then I will tell you this, Tony. I will receive that answer for what it is, and we ain't got to debate it. Because guess what? I've learned that when you believe something and you're convicted on something, there's no moving you off of it. There's no convincing you. So we're not going to sit here and try to convince you or to convince me that's that. I can accept that you're saying that rookie, or not even the rookie, the second or the third year, whatever player, whatever year you want to take from the Jets, can be put on that could have been put on that Seattle team, played as he played in New York, and Seattle still would have won a Super Bowl. I will receive it. I will accept it. Do I believe it? No. But I will let it be. I will let it be your testament. I will let it be your truth. Because if you're just going to run off turnovers, that's part of the game.
Well, I just judge him based because the area that I would say I see that he got marginally better, which is, he got a little bit better, is he has a little bit better percentage. Like he went from a 61%, like between a 59 and 61% accuracy to what he was like 65, 66 or 66, 67. Like he improved 5%. And I'm like, that's the area that I can say that he improved in, but that's just marginal. You get what I'm saying? And that I don't think that was ever, his biggest issue. I think his biggest issue, see, when you seeing ghosts, right, is when that comes from the turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding what you're seeing.
But he said he was seeing those ghosts in Seattle.
No, but he still was playing the same way that he was playing, like when he seen Seattle, which is he still was doing them crazy turnovers. Like, bro, you didn't look at that throw. Like, why would you? You know what I'm saying? That's a bad throw.
But it doesn't mean he's seeing ghosts.
I'm not saying. I was telling you what
the reason. Force a play, like what?
What I was saying is the reason that he was seeing ghosts is because of the type of plays he was making. Mm-hmm. And if you're still making those same type of plays now, just because you're not using the term as you seeing ghosts,
doesn't mean it though.
No, that's what I said. It doesn't mean that. I said he's still playing that same style, and he's still making those same type of mistakes.
It's very hard to get. It's very hard. It's darn near impossible to get a quarterback to change their playing style. It takes time. It takes years. They even talked about how they had to like really show Josh and teach him like the mechanics because of his off his ability. He relied so much on his ability and his arm and his off platform throws that they had to be like, listen, they even talked about it with Lamar, right? But sometimes these things, it's in you. It's very hard to break it because that's what got you where you got to, and you've been doing it so long. But have we seen players get out of that? Yeah, change their mechanics? Absolutely. It's something that you have to do with repetition and repeatedly all the time, but it does not mean that it's not going to show its ugly head, right? Like every now and then we'll see, Mahomes, no look, just naturally. But most of the times he knows what he should do. He knows how he was named. We can still see them, even Baker Mayfield, right? There's times I'm like, okay, Baker, let him cook. And he'll do one of those, like where he's like, I can't do like where he's kicking out, but like in the air and he's tossing it. Like no quarterback I'm not gonna say no quarterback. It's very hard to say that they're never going to resort back a couple of times. Now, if you say that consistently, like he was that, then I would give you that. But to say that, you know what, I've seen that he's developed and he's altered some things, but
Mm-hmm.
in the heart of it, he's still the same quarterback. I don't know. I don't know, Tone. But I want you to know I 100% receive it. And yeah, I would have to really go back because I'll be honest, I was watching a lot of Rams at 4 o'clock and late night. I would watch 49ers play because I'm a big CMC fan. Um Seattle, they like it really snuck up on me like how good they were because I mean I would see that they won, but I would be like, oh, okay, cool. Like that. But I was more shocked, definitely, when I saw him like, oh, Sam Darnold out there, all right, doing a little something. Okay, cool. But yes, sometimes it does go to like, when you do have a wide receiver like JSN, man, do everything in your power to get that man the ball. I mean, I would watch the Lions too because of Jahmyr Gibbs and stuff. So I will err on the caution of knowing that you know what you're talking about and trusting that I know that you know what you're talking about. But am I going to say that from what I saw that I feel like Sam Darnold is no. It's okay. I understand that, yes. To my point, sometimes quarterbacks, you know, sometimes they go back to reset mode and they do what just mechanically felt comfortable and like they're not trying to think about, okay, I have to do this. It does take time to change all that type of stuff. But I do receive what you're saying about the turnovers. Absolutely.
That's all I was saying. I wasn't.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
If we got to get out of here, it's almost 2 hours, girl.
See, Lou done went quiet on us. Hey, Lou.
It's almost 2 hours in here. We got
Like
151
Lou
in
said,
here.
I'm gonna do a Finsanity. I'm gonna just sit back and let it go.
Hey, man, I was sitting here and enjoying the show. Like again, in great debates, when debates are
Yeah,
going on, you don't want to step on it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, y'all were going at it. Go at it.
yeah. I appreciate the back and forth. I like I like that madness. But yeah, I had to look at the time like, oh boy, it's
Oh
150. But
well.
hey
Hey.
man, shout out to y'all. Anything else before we get up out of here?
Oh, yeah, just one last thing. Team USA is going to play at 3 p.m. on Friday. That's before our Friday night show. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. If you get a chance, please, watch and support Team USA. Tone, thank you for an amazing show, especially going on another platform and definitely always showing up. I said I'm about to start calling you Tony HM because you show up in big time moments, big time content creators make big time content, I'm gonna figure it out. But you were phenomenal, Lou. Thank you for your points. I mean, I'm so happy to be back and having conversations with you guys. And I will definitely see you guys Friday evening.
Yeah. And before I know Lou gonna get us out of it before. Hey, Game Boy 305, and I think it was JR Black. I see y'all. Me and her was having a back and forth, but I see y'all disagreeing me. And shout out to Game Boy 305. What he said, the Star Wars. Um, I wanted to go to the Sam. Oh, I see the Sam Darnold was
Oh,
garbage. No, Sam Darnold has always been good at in Detroit. He just got around a better team. So the same energy that I had for Sam Darnold is the same energy that I had for Matthew Stafford. I mean, Matthew Stafford has always been good in Detroit. He just got around a better team, and then that's when it showed, and they won a big game. So you know what I'm saying? All I'm just saying is I keep the same energy for all anybody. If I thought he was trash in Detroit, I would say no, he was trash in Detroit. But I've always said that man did his thing over there in Detroit, and then when he came to LA, we see the difference. But outside of that, I ain't want y'all to think I was ignoring y'all. I saw y'all, you know what I'm saying, man. Vicinity was in just a good back and forth. But Lou, man, get us up out of here, my brother.
Y'all know what it is, man. It's been the 1 day episode of the Blitz Pickup from myself, from my brother, from my sister. We'll see y'all Friday. That's when USA plays, right? You said Insanity?
yeah, 3 p.m.
There you go.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Listen, this USA run is gonna be real cute. They gave us one of the easiest groups to get out of. It's one and done out of the
Oh,
group
now it's
stages.
us.
We'll see y'all Friday, man. Peace. Love y'all.
Out.